Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, Leos, did a little pre shuffle for you guys, and you guys ended up with Helen of Troy. Obviously, we're doing kind of like a mythical and heroic figures storytelling today in honor of the backdrop that we've got. But Helen of Troy was said to be Helen of Sparta, daughter of Leda of Sparta. And she was the great beauty. So beautiful, in fact, that one of the princes of Troy, uh, Paris, fell so madly in love with her that although she was already married to Menelaus, Paris decided to abduct her, abscond with her, steal her away and bring her back to Troy. And that, in turn, began the 10-year Trojan War. So this card just simply tells the story of, by the way, if you haven't seen Troy, great film. They did a really good job with that. But in any case, this card deals with the concept of beauty and real beauty, though. It's exploring the concept of real beauty. Beauty, of course, is in the eye of the beholder. Each one of us has our own concept of what is like attractive. But in truth, every human being is attractive because the reality of it is it's that spark of life. It's our essence of who and what we are that is truly where the attraction lies. And so, was Helen of Troy the most beautiful person? She was the most compelling person because of who she was. Like that's the maybe the better way to conceive of this. So this story isn't so much focused upon the tale of her falling in love with Paris and running off with him, leaving Menelaus to be angry and start a 10-year war. It's not really where the focus is. It's this particular card in this particular deck chooses to focus on the concept of what beauty is. So that's the only reason I'm honoring the way this card out of this deck was chosen to be represented. Okay, so we have the Judgment card sideways. I'm wondering if this is a moment in Leo's life where they are making peace with something. Maybe this is somebody who's like at a point in their life where, this is card 43. Maybe this is somebody who's like totally embracing the beauty of themselves at whatever age they're at. Maybe this is somebody who's like, you know what? I am who I used to be, and I am also more because every year I spend on this planet, I develop another element to who I am. My vitality changes. My aura takes on new, vibrancy. The longer I'm alive, I'm not dimming my light. I'm enhancing it. You notice how we have like this incredible brightness emanating off of this angel. I think if our Leo was not feeling particularly attractive or something right now, this is the turning point for Leo. We literally have the sun. I knew that was going to come out. We have a King of Wands upright. We have a Two of Wands in the reverse. Whatever, if I'm almost feeling this was a Leo who was like, oh, well, I'm not going to meet anybody now because I'm too old. No, not true at all. Leo is spectacularly attractive. Leo will be somebody that has the power to attract and maintain the attention of whomever's the right person for them, or probably more than just one right person, because there's many right people for us in our lifetime. But this is more like I don't know if this Leo is about to either reconnect with somebody from their past and it's like, oh, but I'm older now. I wonder what it'll be like to see them. I wonder if we'll still have a spark. Hell yes. Possibly. I would not be at all surprised if Leo is told by someone like, my God, you look even more attractive than when I knew you before. Like, what's your secret sauce? Leo's secret sauce is they actually can conceive of the fact that they are more with every passing year. I'm gaining in wisdom. I'm gaining in self-confidence. That is actually what makes us beautiful. It's our lust for life. It's our vitality. It's our awareness that we are here and this is who we're supposed to be. I just feel like Leo is really stepping into either a maturity level, an age level. I do feel like Leo's about to see somebody from their past. This could be somebody they had been married to once upon a time, someone they dated once upon a time. And all I can tell you is I think this person is more attracted to Leo now than they were before. And I think Leo is going to recognize it and they're not going to shy away from it. I think it's going to be the same way for Leo. This keeps feeling like never let age or never let passage of time start to make us fearful, like, oh, but what if I don't look the same to them? What if they see wrinkles around my eyes? Or what if passage of time has changed their emotions from me? Undoubtedly, we change in life, but this is putting that, I think, more realistic spin on what changes in life is we become better. We don't become older, we become better because we had more knowledge, more years on this planet to become a more regal version of ourselves, to have learned some hard lessons, to have learned how to tumble with grace, who have had to reinvent ourselves. The more years we're on the planet, the likelihood of us having more life experiences that have challenged us to, manage our ego and really find our true power, that makes us more beautiful, not less. And I just think that this is such an exciting thing because I think Leo's about to see somebody interact with somebody from their past. I got an Ace of Swords upright. We've got the Five of Wands and we've got the Five of Coins. Okay, so very much with that Ace of Swords, there is clarity, there is truth, there's an important conversation coming. We see two birds flying right at each other. This is two people that haven't talked in a really long time. Maybe they crossed swords at one point in time. Maybe they had conflict. Maybe they've also been wishing for a very long time that they could reconnect. And it almost seems like this is the one that got away. Leo is the one that got away. This person could also be the one that got away in Leo's mind. Two people who haven't seen each other in a long time are going to be reconnecting. That's what I see here. Two of Swords upright, Seven of Swords upright, King of Swords in the reverse. Is this possibly a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, where, I don't know, did they have a big old blowout and yet it was never true? Meaning two people were like, oh, we're never going to speak again, and yet both people have wanted to speak all this time. The King of Swords in the reverse specifically may have been one who told themselves, Leo never wants to hear from me again, because they got real salty over this. And I actually think that this is all a bunch of bunk. I think they always wanted to talk to Leo. I think that Leo maybe has always wanted to talk to them. Is it that passage of time? Because remember, we're talking about beauty, but we're also talking about it as passage of time. Time heals certain things, shows us other things that are true, and in this case has highlighted like missed opportunities that I think characters have both been realizing, I don't know that I can just let this go. I don't know that I can live my whole life without ever talking to this person again, even though when things ended, man, I decided Leo hated my guts, blocked me, never wants to talk to me again. Maybe Leo did say something like that to them. They certainly believe Leo said something like that to them. We've got a Page of Cups upright. We have a King of Cups. They've wanted to say sorry to Leo for a really long time. We have a Ten of Wands and we have an Eight of Wands. Oh my God. I'm going to say this masculine has wanted to tell Leo that they were sorry for a really long time. They love Leo, but man, have they been a grumpy stump for a while. This has been like, I have to tell Leo that I love him. That matters more now than how miffed they were that Leo blocked them. And I do feel Leo had to have blocked them because we saw that Two of Swords. They were so hurt, so wounded, so angry at one point in time in the past that Leo got rid of them and said, I'm not talking to you anymore. And yet over time, the thing that has like risen to the top is, if I made Leo not want to talk to me, instead of saying, I'm the one who's so pissed off and hurt, maybe I need to say, why would Leo not have wanted to talk to me? God, if I hurt Leo so much that they didn't want to talk to me, I need to tell him sorry because I actually really loved Leo. That seems to be like the cream that's coming to the top. What about for Leo? Look, all I can say is this is the preparation, because it's like these two are about to communicate. And after, like, I'm thinking years must have passed. This feels like two people from a long time ago, at least 5 years ago, are about to talk. And now we're dealing with like, oh my God, this is, what's it going to be like? We haven't seen each other in so long. We haven't talked in so long. We both look different now. Many years have passed. What's that going to be like? Look, on Leo's side, with that Hierophant, Leo's had some kind of like energetic upload, download. They've recognized something for sure with that Hierophant. Seven of Swords, Six of Swords, and the Eight of Cups. Okay, so also for Leo, with that Seven of Swords, Leo was lying to themselves and they realized that as well. I lied to myself saying that, I know they didn't want me. Leo's like, I walked away from them, but maybe we needed to walk away from this for the period of time. I'm wondering if we had too much ego involved. I mean, Leo says they were lying. They also say that they were lying. I don't know if that King of Swords was just in a mood or something in the past, and it was just maybe Leo was like, if they're, I know they do care about me, but if they're not in a place where they can care about me openly and resolve stuff with me, then I'm going to block them because I don't want them in my life, and I'm going to move on because I don't want to deal with this weird back and forth and things that aren't necessarily even true. I do think that Leo tried their best to wrap their head around things and then do the thing that was going to like bring about the best result. Only at this point, Leo's saying, I walked away back then because I felt like I had to, but at this point, I also know the premise of why I walked away wasn't built on truth. I would say that's true. They both see a Seven of Swords. Neither person wanted it to be over. So as we see two people about to meet, universe, what is the message here? What's the best advice for two people who would like to meet each other again? Obviously, we're getting through any jitters or any worries about like, oh gosh, will I look different to them? Will they care about me still? Will I, it just feels like this story is really showing us two people that are about to talk again, maybe face to face after a long time. The universe says with the Hanged Man, I mean, this gives a different interpretation of the Hanged Man. These delays were so that characters could be reborn. It wasn't really the right time for a connection. And it says, and remember, it may not be yet the right time for this connection. We don't have to walk in and say, okay, we're supposed to, see each other again, have one conversation, then we're supposed to be back in a love and romantic connection. The universe is saying, well, now wait a second. The two of them talking again after all this time is, the baby's not born yet. Even when they start to talk, it doesn't mean that they instantly are like, yay, it's a rebirth of our romance, and we both have to just be feeling so good about this, and the only reason we're meeting each other is so we can jump back into romance. Not true. These two have changed over time, and they're going to need to learn about how they've changed, but they also clearly didn't necessarily know each other all that well back in the past. And I say that because there was a lot hidden with that Seven of Swords that they each had. So there's so much to talk about. These two can't imagine that they're meeting each other as they used to be. They would be meeting each other now almost for the first time. Yes, they have history, but if they're about to see each other, they can't think of it as like we're picking up where we left off, because it wouldn't be that. This would be, we're in different places in our lives. We are partly who we used to be, but we're more than who we used to be also. That goes back to that concept of beauty and how passage of time actually elevates us, not ages us. It's not a good way to think of it. We all have so much, that comes at us like, oh, we're not supposed to age. Aging is scary. Aging is bad. We're not attractive if we age. None of that is true. If we could look at aging as, I've been here more years, which means I am more developed as a human being, that makes me more beautiful. That, I think that would be a way better way to look at process of time, because I actually think it's more accurate also. This feels like, if anything, this is going to be a great opportunity for them to talk about the past a bit and say goodbye to the past, and then talk really realistically as the new people that they've grown into, the more that they have both become. And we actually have Leo now sitting here as a Queen of Swords in a very like beautiful, empowered energy, saying like, I'm happy to talk to you. I'm happy to talk about the stuff that, we had conflict over in the past. I'm I'm not in conflict with you now. I don't have any of those old emotions. They definitely are going to be talking. The two of them are going to talk about the Five of Swords, the Seven of Swords, the things that were hidden, the lies that were told, the things that were, hostile. It's almost like, what did really happen with us? It just feels really gentle. Like, I don't want to rehash everything from the past, but maybe just the one big thing, which could have been, I felt like you didn't like me back then, or that you didn't want to admit that you liked me back then, or something. Where was the confusion? What was it that was hidden, or what was it that wasn't really explained back in the day? That's the one thing. It's not like let's rehash every minutia. Three of Swords, it is a chance for them to talk about, it hurt because I felt like you weren't being truthful with me. Now this could be a two-way street. They're like, it hurt me when you blocked me because I felt like you didn't want me. And it's like, but that's not true, and it's not true. I always did. Like, I feel like this is the chance for the two of them to clear the air and to be able to say, it stung because I felt like you weren't being honest. Because I back then, oh God, I wanted so much for us to work. And I think both people wanted that. When they clear the air on this is a conversation that does still have to happen without it becoming just like this crazy angry rehash of every wrong, each person ever dealt to each other. This is like a gentle clearing of the air with this reassurance, even like the thing I hid is how hurt I was when we stopped talking, because I had really wanted to be with you and be happy with you. And I think that that's true on both sides. If they can clear that air out, what happens next, universe? Death card, there's our new beginning. Now they can start to talk again as people that are meeting each other. We've cleared the past. We are more than the past now, and now we can begin in the present. So what are they to each other? Is there a chance for romance or Seven of Cups? They're both in a place where they're looking in the same cup together. They may both be hoping for the exact same outcome. They both would really like to have a relationship that is successful together. They both want the same things at this point. They both felt the same way in the past, maybe had similar, conflicts, or they were afraid of some of the same things. But at this point, they both matured in some of the same ways. Okay, they could both end up like really starting to have flowing dialogue where it's like, now it feels lighthearted and it feels fun and it feels like there's tons of quick-witted conversation and talking about, their plans for the future and seeing what they share in the present and the future. They got to clear out the past conversation first. And then it's a reset button. And now it's like, oh my God, it's so fun to talk to you again. And I feel like they could reconnect really beautifully. Will they be a successful couple? This card says very possible, but is possible, not necessarily a strong yes. But I do think that these two have a ton of free-flowing dialogue right after that. So this is coming in soon, is what it feels like. This is like either Leo and this person are both, it's right before they start reaching out to each other, and that's why their minds are filled with, I wonder what it would be like to see them again. I wonder what they think of me. I wonder if they'll see me as somebody that looks a lot different. I wonder. These two will always still see each other as beautiful. These two have always still wanted to be together, and I think that they still do. I think that I think if anything, these two are going to be more attracted to each other now than before, because they're, like I said, they're not older, they're more than who they used to be. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. I so appreciate you guys. Lots of love. Bye.